All right, what's going on, y'all?
Going
Once
on.
again, we back with the cream of the crop fantasy basketball league. About to get into some things, man. It's gonna be a fun episode. We're gonna talk about the Yahoo rankings. We're gonna talk about contenders and pretenders based off of the keepers. I got a good cast right now. Got my man Ryan all the way out in Portland. What's going on, Ryan?
What's going on, everybody?
We got Jones on mute, but he's going to join us soon. We got Vel in the building. What's going on, Vel?
What's good?
And we got Uncle B. What's good?
What's happening?
All right, we let's get right into it, man. Which y'all want to start with? Pretenders, or y'all want to go to Yahoo rankings?
Man,
Yahoo,
what you guys think? I think we got to go Yahoo rankings first. Then we got to go into like pretenders.
Yep. Yahoo rankings.
All right, we're gonna go into like the top 50. Or you want to go?
Yeah, let's go top 50. Yeah.
All right, hold on. I think Yahoo updated their rankings too, so it's a little bit different from when we what it was when it first opened.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so as it stands right now, Anthony Davis is the number one fantasy player.
Yeah.
Steph Curry number 2, James Harden at 3, Giannis is at 4, Karl Anthony Towns is at 5, Jokic is at 6, Embiid's at 7, Lillard is at 8, LeBron's at 9, Kawhi's at 10, Bradley Beal is 11 now, and Kyrie is at 12. What y'all feel about that top 12 for Yahoo? Any surprises?
Yeah, Kyrie at 12. But he probably will do it though.
What you think, Ryan?
I'm thinking. Look, I get Steph Curry at 2, right? Like I kind of get it, but I kind of don't. Like, I think that because of the injuries that Golden State has, I can see him balling out a little bit at the beginning of the season. But number 2, I mean, over a guy like Giannis, over Harden, that's where I'm like, I don't quite know if I put him that high. I mean, he's top 10 to me, but more maybe like 6, 7 down that range.
What you think, Val?
I like where he at. I think fantasy wise, I mean, if you look at it last year before he got hurt, he was number 1. So to me, it's no surprise.
Yeah, I think the only thing that can stop him from being like a top fantasy player is injury. Because he's gonna have all the opportunity now with no Clay, no KD. You kind of saw what he did, for a short sample size in the playoffs without KD. So the only thing is, he's 30 now. So will his body hold up being the go-to guy this season? But if it does, he's gonna snap. I think everybody on that Golden State Warrior team is gonna be pretty decent. I think Draymond's value go up too, but
yeah,
absolutely. I agree with that. I agree with that a whole lot.
But I think Harden, I mean, it's hard to see Harden outside of like the top 2 picks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I would take Harden over Anthony Davis in a heartbeat.
I would too. I agree with that.
Yeah, just because of injury alone, Anthony Davis, I would take Cat. Because we don't really know what Anthony Davis is going to do with LeBron. Like I think he's going to ball out, but he's not going to be the number 1 guy.
And it's going to take time. I mean, it's not going to be seamless right off the bat anyway. So
yeah, they're gonna be like 1 and 1A. I think he's gonna get off with LeBron. I'm just more concerned about like Anthony Davis' health. Can he stay on the floor?
Let's ask the expert Lakers fan over here.
I'm praying that he's still on the floor.
Right.
Yeah. I think they're both average. 32 and 28. Anthony Davis probably averaged 32.
Damn. 30.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna have
I think he's gonna go off, yo.
Yes. While he's playing, I think he's gonna have a great season. If he doesn't get hurt.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
30,
LeBron gonna feed him. He's
He
gonna
said
feed him
30
all
12.
day, man.
Hey, Jones.
You.
Yeah, they're talking about we're talking about the top 12 fantasy players, Yahoo rankings. Did you know who the 12 are?
I've been listening.
Okay, what you think? What you think? Any surprises?
Where's Giannis at? I didn't hear that.
Giannis
He's
is
number
ranked.
4.
He's ranked number 4.
And who's number 3?
James Harden and
Not really.
Curry's number 2.
I can't hear Joe.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, yeah, no, not no surprises. I am surprised
y'all
that
hear
they
Jones?
did put.
Yeah, I hear him.
I am
Russell
surprised
Wilson.
that they did. Anybody else hear me or can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't hear.
I'm just surprised that he put Kyrie in the top 12, man. I think it's somebody down there below. Kyrie's an injury risk, man, by not having KD there, only other bona fide scorer they got is Karis LeVert. They're not going to risk him to hurt the whole year.
They
So
still
I
got
think he's
Dinwiddie.
huh?
They got Dinwiddie.
They're going to make the playoffs, but can they win without KD?
No.
All right, so I'll risk him. Last couple of years, he played, 58, 68 games or something like that in there. So I don't think they don't do the claw playing with him. So, I mean, he's going to ball, don't get me wrong. I just don't think he's going to be there at the end or he's going to miss some pivotal game. That's all.
Yeah, I think the original Yahoo rankings had Paul George in the top 12 and had Kyrie out. So I think they switched it up.
Well, if you look at the guys that are right below him, too, I mean, shoot, what is it? Russell's right below him. Jimmy Butler, Kemba, all those guys you could say could end up having a better year than Kyrie for fantasy.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I don't know, man. With Kyrie, I think he's gonna go off in Brooklyn because that's where he wants to be. So I think this year might be a year he might deserve to be a first round guy, but like you got the same question marks with him that you would have with somebody like Steph Curry. Like you just want him to be healthy, at least healthy for the playoffs.
For sure.
And if we go back a minute to Steph too, and we talk about his injuries, like he's kind of gotten off for a while now without a serious injury. So not trying to jinx the guy, but now that he's hit 30, is this the year that he starts wearing down a little bit? Or I don't know. I mean, it's a valid question.
And you got to think about it too. That he's going to have a hell of a high usage this year too.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens out there.
I think the only thing that helps him, in the long run, is that Golden State is the only team with the least amount of back-to-backs. I think they only have 11 this year.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that could help. I mean, they are in the new arena too, so he got to play. They got to sell them tickets. So, what I mean? KD left. I think he's going to be out to prove that he is still Steph Curry. He is still an MVP candidate. So I think this might be his best fantasy year this year. This might be the year to own him.
Yeah,
I can see that. He ain't trying to sit out either.
Hold on. I see a big smile on your face, Lavelle. Lavelle's the new proud owner of Steph Curry, by the way.
Hey, man. I heard him. I'll take it.
I know that's right.
What do you think about you think about Giannis being ranked 4?
It don't matter.
I agree with it. I don't think he's gonna have that great of a season.
What?
I don't.
I do.
You don't
even hear that.
Player, man.
Unk say he don't think Giannis is gonna have a good season or that great of a season this year.
Not as good as last year. I'm just gonna put it like that. Not as good as last year.
They might not win as many games, but he's still gonna have individually. He's gonna have them numbers.
I don't
He
think
only
so.
gonna get
Dude,
better,
all
man.
right, never mind. You right, You right,
Well,
I'll let you know how
how
that
can I
work
put
out.
it? For his team to get better, he has to decrease a little bit.
Oh,
I'm telling you, he does.
You just don't like him.
oh, yeah, you just don't like him.
It's cool.
I'm just
You
saying
just
he
don't
has to
like him.
decrease a little bit. I just don't see him having that same season, man.
Yeah, he will.
It's not that he won't get
You
better.
want to trade him for me
He'll
then?
get
You want to
Yeah.
trade
smaller.
him
Who got
for him?
I
who
think he's
got
gonna
Greek?
shoot the 3 this year.
Who got Greek?
You want to trade?
You're talking. Jones got Greek.
Mr. Jones has Greek.
Yeah.
What was his numbers
I
last
take Greek in a heartbeat.
All
What was
right,
his numbers last year?
his numbers last year was 27-12 with 6 assists. One hold up.
And he had blocks.
Okay. I'll say
Yeah.
Yeah, 1.3 steals, 1.5 blocks. So his numbers
Come
is
on,
pretty.
man.
I'll say 25-10.
Come on.
Oh, look, they got
Ain't gonna be
rid
no
of
drop ball with that dude.
they got rid of Brogdon. He's not there. Miritic's not there. I think his numbers going to stay the same, or if not, get a little bit better.
And
I
even
just think
With a
even if they go
three
down,
they had to rely
still
on the
number 4
team
player.
more
with a
because
to a game.
the way Kawhi took him out in the playoffs, that can't happen again.
All right.
They rely on somebody else.
Oh.
What?
That's Kawhi.
Yeah, come on, that's Kawhi.
That's
And then on top
Kawhi.
of it, like this was Greek's first year on a big stage like that. Come on, man.
Well, he still could be a choker. We don't know.
Come on, man.
We don't know. He could be a choker.
So you think he's going to choke for the season?
He
No,
didn't choke.
I'm saying he could be a playoff choker. I don't think
No.
he is. I just think
Well,
he
didn't choke. He
did not
didn't
choke,
choke in that
bro.
series.
He did not choke.
He didn't choke in that
Oh, you
series.
don't think he
He just
choked?
didn't have a great series.
Okay. I'm just saying he might be a choker.
Hey, you need to stop, man. That shit hate coming out of you, man.
Hey, that's
Paul George a choker?
You're not
He
gonna
can
do
choke
that.
all he wants, averaging 25 and 10.
No, I'm talking about in the playoffs. Ain't Paul George a choker?
yeah.
Man,
but-
We're not talking about
All
Paul
right.
George. We're talking
we're
about
not even worried about the playoffs in
they're
fantasy,
not the
bro.
same player.
Ain't James Harden a choker? I'm just saying. He could
They're not the same. None of them are Greek.
People out here in Portland still talking about Paul George and Lillard, because that was like the big moment out here when Lillard just basically snanked that shot. So they're not forgetting that anytime soon out here.
I mean, people in Utah still remember Joe Ingles giving him hell too.
That's it.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as a regular season, fantasy season, I think Giannis is going to be,
Ridiculous.
he's still going to put up great numbers in the fantasy.
I mean, if he averages 5 less points a game, he would still be an elite player. I mean, that's how crazy his numbers are.
And I'm just saying too. I didn't say a lot. I said 2 points down on each. That's it.
I got you.
But
I think he's trying to get his team more. I think he's going to need to get his team more involved to make a championship run. Because
I think he's less points though.
I don't think he can put his team on his back and take it there. He needs help, like LeBron.
I just
think he's so young. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah.
I think he'll realize that
He's
and maybe
only
like
he's
if
like
5.
24.
Yeah, I would think
yo.
by the time he's 28, if they're not winning, then I could see him,
Right.
scaling back. But right now, he's still too young to get it. Like, he's going to go get his.
Well, we say that about some people, and some people just don't have it.
Oh, stop, man.
But that's the street, bro.
Stop.
Everybody
Come on, stop talking about Greek like that, man.
Right
He
now,
disrespecting him in real life, for real.
Yeah, like, come on,
all my heart
man.
saying he's a choker right now.
What you
He's
say?
not
Hold
no
up.
choker,
Right now, all
man.
my heart saying he's a choker.
Oh my God.
Time out. Hold on. Would you want him in LA?
Nope.
You a lot.
Him and LeBron both 2 jokers. Hell,
Damn.
now
Come on,
LeBron
man.
going, I'll take him in LA.
He said if LeBron's gone, you'll take him.
Yep. But right
Okay.
now, he can't have 2 jokers.
All right, so let's move on. Since you mentioned him, what do you guys think LeBron's number is going to be this year?
Oh shit.
I told you, I
The
think
same as
28.
last year.
Hold on. What you think?
I think 28 points a game this year.
So you
I'm
think
gonna refer to that one.
so 28, 8, and 8?
Maybe even more than that. He might even average a triple double.
If he averaged a triple double, he ain't getting you 28.
I think
Yeah, I
he'll
was
be
about
the
to
best
say
player
that.
ever. Fantasy.
If he's
LeBron,
averaging triple double, he's not.
what you think, Ryan?
Ooh, 28, no, but I think he's gonna play well, and I think he's definitely gonna his assist numbers are gonna go up. He's gonna run the offense a lot more, and he's gonna have Anthony Davis down low. So I'll say 23, 7, and 8. That's what I'll say.
I know Lavelle ain't trying to hear that. So Lavelle, you're the proud owner of LeBron James. What you think?
I gotta go with Uncle Brian on that one, man. I think he's gonna be close, or he's gonna average like triple double. He's going at least 28 points a game, at least. Yo, they gonna go off this year, man. I'm telling you, with them two together, it's gonna be very easy for both of them to score. Watch.
But what about Kuzma as number 3? You think he's gonna take some of the shots?
He'll get his 15, 18 points.
I think he's gonna be over 20 this year.
Yeah, he gonna get his points. Yo,
I
watch
think
when
those
them
three
two play
average
each other.
80 points a game.
They
think-
need him
If
to. They need him to average like 20.
Right, but if anything, Anthony Davis gonna have the easiest time. Now you ain't gonna be able to double that boy no more. He gonna have a field day out there. This is a matter, can he stay healthy?
What you think, Jones? You think about LeBron's numbers?
I think it's gonna be identical to last year.
Like
Honestly.
27, 8, and 8.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be identical. Give or take. You know what I'm saying? Like that's LeBron for real. For real. Now he has better playmakers. You know what I'm saying? Just by having better playmakers alone, he's going to have more assists.
Yeah.
With Anthony Davis. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be similar. You know what I'm saying? Just hopefully you stay lucky. I mean, healthy. So
yeah, I can see similar numbers because I think it's going to be easy for everybody to eat. You know what I mean? I think Kuzma's numbers are actually going to go up from last year because when they rest Anthony Davis and LeBron, Kuzma's going to eat.
yeah.
And I think Kuzma gonna be one of the closers in the playoffs because LeBron's still not a closer.
Oh my God.
He's not.
LeBron might be a facilitator.
Yo,
He might not need to close.
I really don't understand this closing thing, man. I don't get it. You could drop 45, but if you don't hit the game winner, you're not a closer. I don't understand that.
Nah, he's a choker, man. More pressure. Sprinkle up.
A choke?
You know that.
I know he better keep him away from the free throw line. I know that much.
That's right. Yeah. That's part of choking too.
That's probably the only choking he does.
He ain't bad as hard, but he's a choker. He's getting better. LeBron is getting better. I give him that.
Oh man,
he's still not a closer than me.
What you all right? So let's go on to Kawhi. What you think about Kawhi?
Kawhi is the closer.
I mean, what do you think his numbers are going to be in fantasy this year?
Man,
why?
Because you know he might only give you 60 games, but
I know that's crazy.
Yeah, I think
give it to death.
I think he's going to be real good. Because again, we talk about guys going home, right? He's going to be motivated to play well in LA.
Yeah.
And I think playing with PG3 is going to be good too. Numbers wise, he's been at 26.6 last year. I'll put him right around there. I think he's going to be pretty much the same.
Yeah, I think Kawhi is pretty much locked into who he is at this point. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like his play speaks for itself. Fantasy wise, he's still an elite, fantasy small forward, shooting guard, wing, whatever. What you think, Unc? You almost had a deal on the table for him, man. He said you lost out.
Man, I was just scared, man. That 60 game shit don't work. Westbrook playing every game.
Yeah. Yeah, for those that don't know, there was a deal on the table, Westbrook for Kawhi Leonard.
Oh wow. For last season or like right now?
Right now.
Now. Yeah. I got cold feet.
You got all them guards, man. Stop playing, Unc.
I got cold feet, man. 60 games, 82 games. What would you take?
Hey.
See, to me, it all depends on if I knew that Kawhi was going to play down the stretch. You know what I mean? Like that would be cool, but like you said, you try and win every week. So in this league, you gotta get your wins every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, I got to beat out Jones for first place.
There you go.
What you say?
He said he got to beat you out for first place.
Oh man, I don't want no problems. I don't want no smoke. It's too early, man. I don't trade. No trade clause.
Oh, you don't, no trade?
They don't know.
I want a chip like that. I could trade now. They be trying to get me though, man. I don't be trusting these dudes.
What do you think about Westbrook for Drew Holiday?
Yeah, we on there right now. We live.
Whoa.
Westbrook for who?
On called you out.
I think he talking to you, Ryan.
Hey,
Who,
Ryan.
me?
Yeah.
How about
Well,
Drew
I'll
Holiday?
put
Nah,
you
I
on
think you
speaker
on
real
phone.
quick.
He said Westbrook for Drew Holiday.
Oh,
Yo,
Man.
this team right quick. He ain't got a message for you, Unc.
Oh, man.
You ashy.
I'm ashy.
You ashy.
Call me Ashy Larry. I went from
I'm
Ashy to
glad I can't hear nothing you
I'm
saying.
classy right now.
He said call him Ashy Larry.
I was
You
Ashy
ashy
last year.
Larry.
I was Ashy last year. Year before last.
He said
Damn,
he said he was ashy last year. Now he classy.
Nah, you back to ashy.
Nah, not yet.
I give you was classy for when you got the chip, and that was it. Now you back.
All right, y'all got to make me ashy again.
Who on the podcast?
All right, we gonna hit you back.
All right, yo.
All
All
right.
right, Ron, you gonna think about that? Think about
Yeah,
that. Ain't you?
hey, you know what, man? I like Westbrook, and I never owned Westbrook. That's the thing. I've never owned him. I've owned Kawhi a bunch of times. I get bored and trade him every year. So, in a couple different leagues, so I don't know, man. We'll see. But I love Drew this year. Drew is like,
Yeah, I want to see a trade happen over the podcast.
Hold on, what I miss?
it ain't gonna happen on the podcast. I can tell you that.
Come on, make the trade happen
Hold
over
on.
the podcast.
What I
We got
miss?
a bunch of witnesses.
He's trying to give me Westbrook for Holiday, straight up. It's like, whew, but nah, I can't do it. I can't do it on the podcast.
blow that shit out.
You gotta think about it.
That's not. I mean, that's not
Not a
bad.
bad deal.
Because you gotta look at it. I mean, if I could just throw my little 2 cents in, it ain't worth much. But you get to pair Westbrook with Ben Simmons, Jason
Wow.
Tatum, Porzingis, and John Collins. Whew.
Guys, don't make me do it on the podcast.
I'm not. Y'all gonna talk offline. Y'all talk offline. But
Yeah. I gotta think about that because I've been real high on Drew this whole.
that's UCLA on UCLA love right there.
That's all that is.
Yes.
Jones, what you think? What you think about Kawhi's numbers this year?
Man, he don't be a beast wherever he go. I just don't trust him resting.
You don't trust his
You know
health?
what I'm saying? Nah, I mean, I trust his health, but
60
after
games,
that
too.
article, you know what I'm saying, it came out that he has a reoccurring, whatever that injury is, that it's bothering him. So he has to take out time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it worked. So if you willing to, I'm not, with me personally, I know we don't lose some of our players for injuries. You know what I'm saying? But if you going into season knowing you don't only get like 60 games out of them,
Yeah,
I'm not going to take that one.
I think the worst thing that could happen in fantasy was him winning the chip in real life.
Yeah.
Because he already got the blueprint. The blueprint is set. All right, you rest me. I already got somebody that can rock in Paul George if I'm resting, who's virtually, identical to the same kind of style. Both great two-way players. Play me 60 games and look, I get you a chip.
Yep.
I'll be ready for the playoffs. And that's not going to benefit us. Unless you play a playoff league like I run.
Mm-hmm.
Try. You know what I'm saying? But I like him, man. I think he's going to be a beast. I would just, knowing what we know, it ain't too many people that was making it pretty deep in the playoffs that had him.
Gotcha.
Hey, Ryan, Westbrook for Ben Simmons.
No way. Not gonna happen.
Yo, hold on. Look, show him their background. Look what's in this background. You see that 36ers?
Yeah, you got the hat, you got the
Oh,
shirt.
man.
Yeah.
It's not gonna
Hey,
happen.
feel it thing.
I was trying so hard to get Ben Simmons for so long, and I finally got him. And now he's got something that resembles a jump shot. Like, it's still kind of funky looking, but you know what? If he can make one or two of those, all right.
He's getting better.
That's what's up. Y'all want to go into the second round, or y'all want to go into the keepers? We could break this down round by round, like each podcast, or we can go into the second round now. It's on you guys.
I'll say the second round next week. Next
want to
time.
go into
That's
pretend.
me.
All right, we're gonna go into. I'm gonna read off the keeper list so far. The 5 keepers.
Oh shit!
And you know what segment this is: pretenders or contenders.
Yep,
Pretenders or contenders.
that's right.
All right, let me go into this list.
You can start with a champ if you want.
Hey,
All
God,
right, we're gonna go. I got my spreadsheet up. I think that's a little bit faster. All right, so we got Onk's team. He got Damian Lillard, Kyrie Irving, Russell Westbrook, Vooch, and DeAndre Ayton. So we're gonna go down.
I like that.
We're gonna go down the list. All right, Jones, you said something. You gonna start it off. Is it a contender or a pretender?
Give me the 5 one more time. I know Vooch.
Ayton, Damian Lillard, Kyrie, and Russell Westbrook.
Damn, he guarded up. Just because he the up man, I don't want to hear his fucking mouth on the podcast. I'll give him a contender, man.
I still can't hear him.
It's just one of them that, you know what I'm saying, depends on what they do. But yeah, I give him a contender.
You hear that, Donk?
I can't hear him.
Look.
That's crazy.
I like that.
That's crazy.
I like that.
I still can't hear him. What did he say?
Look, this is what he said. This is what he said. Right here. Contender.
You can't see it? Oh,
okay. Contender. Okay.
Oh, I'm not a hater, man. I might not like you, but I'm not going to hate on your team.
All right, so Ryan, what you think of that squad?
Yeah, I mean, I want to say pretender just to say it, but I can't. Man. It's a good looking squad. DeAndre Ayton, I mean, he's going to be in year 2 even better. So that's a wild card for me all the way. He could end up top 15 by the end of the year if everything breaks right.
I like the way you think, Ryan.
You know, what can I say?
And the rest of them are championship team. The rest are champions. You know what I mean?
Lavelle, what you think?
I mean, you gotta say contender. I mean, he won it all last year. I mean, what more can you say?
I got you. All right, so look, I think it's a contender based on, I mean, you got the best backcourt in the league to me with Westbrook, Lillard, and Kyrie. Like, the thing is, Westbrook brings a different dynamic to your team. Kyrie and you know, Lillard, they both like your scoring point guard. You just gotta, you know, pray for health with Kyrie, but you got enough on the back end where it's not really going to matter as much. You don't even have to even look for a point guard in the draft.
No.
And then, you know, Big Vooch, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to be real, outside of assists, Big Vooch was just as good as Jokic last year on the low. Like,
yeah,
that's just on the low. Outside of assists, they were pretty much virtually identical. You just got to hope he didn't get paid and he's slacking off. But
yeah.
I think Big Vooch is a problem. And like you said, Ayton might be a new generational big for the next 10 seasons. You know what I mean? So I think definitely coming out the gate, you're looking like a contender.
I think Ayton's a new Drummond, a new age.
Nah, he's better than Drummond because Drummond wasn't that offensive. Like, if you notice, he's already 16-10 his rookie season.
Right.
Drummond is like 16-15 for career. So I still think it's levels for Ayton to get to. Ayton got better offensive moves. If he can expand his range to the 3-point line, which I saw he's doing that in the summer, like he might be like, I'm not going to like pump your head up, but you might be talking about him in the cat daddy range in the next 2 or 3 seasons.
That's what I'm hoping.
All right, we're gonna go
You'll
into
trade.
huh?
I'll say he'll trade him before then, but
Yeah. Look, I'm getting denying it.
What he said?
He said you'll trade him before then, before he reaches potential.
Nah, I doubt it.
Aiton? Yeah,
I doubt if I trade him.
Unc been wanting Aiton for a minute. I think he'll get rid of Vooch before Aiton.
That's what I'm trying to
okay.
get rid of Russ, but I'm trying to get rid of some old guys because I want to go young eventually.
All right. Well, we're gonna get right into Jones. Let's read Jones's keepers. James Harden, Giannis, Rudy Gobert,
Whoa.
Karis LeVert, and Kyle Kuzma. Let's start with Lavelle. He's been making all the ad libs. What you think, Lavelle?
Definitely a contender, bro. Wow. Yeah, I like that squad. It's a lot more balanced though.
We got one contender in the house. Hey, Unc, what you think of that squad?
Definitely a contender.
Okay.
My squad is balanced too because remember Westbrook put stuff rebounds, baby.
He just
We
look, he
moved
had a
on, bro.
comeback
We
year.
moved
Okay,
on.
they just
That's
turned.
right.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, what you think?
Yeah, look, man, you can be a contender with that team with just the Greek freak and Harden, man. That's the thing.
Oh.
Like, it's unlike other teams when you got those two guys together. So yeah, contender.
Yeah, I mean, I think the same thing. I think you know, I always tell Jones, you got Giannis and Harden. You know what I'm saying? Like that almost accounts for 3 or 4 players with just them two alone. You know what I mean? When you got Harden that can go off for 50 for a whole week, you know what I'm saying? You got Giannis that can do his thing. You already know what Giannis brings to the table. And then I think Rudy Gobert, I think his offensive game this season is going to go up because they got Favors up out of there. Mm-hmm. So now they pretty much got more stretch fours that's going to shoot, and he's going to live in the paint. And you already know Mike Conley knows how to work with bigs. So
plus, I played Jones's team too much in the last couple years. I know how it's going to go down with Harden and Greek. At least for me, I know how it's going to go down. You know, every year.
And I think for this season, Karis LeVert, I saw what you did. You kind of replaced Gary Harris with Karis LeVert. And I think Karis LeVert's going to be a better player than Gary Harris because he's going to be needed for this team, especially if Kyrie does miss a few games and Karis LeVert, he was really the all-star before D'Angelo Russell in Brooklyn until he got hurt. I think the only thing you got to worry about him is just health. I mean, that's every player at this point, but I like that move. I think your best bang for your buck was Kyle Kuzma. I think I said that on the last podcast because Yahoo had him ranked, in the original rankings as a 10th rounder.
Yeah.
That's just crazy to me. You know what I mean? So I think with Boogie going down, that kind of helped too, because you probably would have lost a couple rounds up.
Yeah, I would have.
How you feel about your team? How you constructed it?
I mean, I took a lot of 1-year rentals, you know what I'm saying, on potential too, and position and opportunity, especially with Karis LeVert. I got him last year, and like I said, I had to drop him because I was just getting hurt, man. They was dropping like flies, but I seen what he did when he came back, and I was waiting for Earn to drop him. I knew he would do it. I knew he would do it. It was just a matter of time. And I waited it out, and I snatched him up. And I want to see what he's going to do next year, man, without KD.
Okay. So we have a unanimous contender. All right. So now we're going to go into let's go into Ryan's team. Drew Holiday, Ben Simmons, John Collins, Kristaps Porzingis, and Jason Tatum. What you think, Unc?
Contender.
Why you say that?
Balanced squad, balanced young squad.
I like it.
And Porzingis got something to prove this year.
Yeah,
you might as well call him Drago.
That's right. That boy Jack.
But he does scare me, though. He does scare me because low management.
Unicorn.
That's the only thing.
So what you think? What you think about his team, Jones?
I like his team, man. He got a balanced young squad. I think over time in our dynasty, he will become a more of a powerhouse. I think he's still young. Um, he's definitely a contender. But what scares me, like I said, with his team is KP. You know, when you in a playoff game and you need him, is it going to be depending on where their record is? Are they going to play him?
It's true, man. Either way, first of all, I want to say I waited all year to get him back because I mean there was times last year when I was like, man, I cannot hold him. Like he's driving me crazy. Get out on him. But yeah, I'm hoping he's healthy because if he is, him and Doncic together, whew, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Vel, where you at? What you think? All right.
I think he said contender. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
I definitely think that our deal kind of helped you out a little bit. You know what I mean? But now on some real, like I think the team is young. It's like a young team, but it can contend right now. Like if you draft around that core, it can compete for a chip this year.
We'll see.
But
Tatum's a wild card to me too. I mean, he could go off, or he could just be the same as he was last year, kind of stay right around an average player.
I think he's gonna go off.
He's going off, man.
Only because I think this whole this FIBA World Cup thing is really like, it's helping them get chemistry number one with Kemba, you know what I mean, with Jalen. I think all of them get better now that Kyrie's gone. Because I think Kyrie was more of a cancer to that team because he just didn't care. Like, it was like, yo, I'm going to get my numbers this year and then I'm out. You know what I mean? And he didn't really care about developing the younger players because he knew he was leaving anyway. He's like, all right, you guys will get it when I leave. So I think now, Jason Tatum is going to definitely be 1A or 1B to Kemba. The only thing that I kind of, worry about is Kemba. Is Kemba going to come in and be the Kyrie or a Kemba for the Hornets? Or is he going to fall back and say, all right, I got a squad now. Let me be a facilitator a little bit. But I think worst case scenario, Tatum's going to put up Tobias Harris numbers. That's worst case scenario. And that's like 19 and 7. Yeah.
I'll take that all day from a wing. So yeah, that'll be great.
And Porzingis, like I said, I think, the piggyback off of what Jones said, like that's the only thing is the load management. But when he's on the floor, I think he's gonna snap. I think him bulking up like that is going to definitely do wonders for his frame.
I may just use that. I may just use that thing you sent me with the Drago comparison as my fantasy logo for this.
Yeah. Yeah, he's jacked, man. But all right, we're gonna go right into Lavelle's team. This is the newly acquired Vel's Dreamers. He got Steph Curry, LeBron James, LaMarcus Aldridge, Bam, and Terry Rozier. What you think?
He's a contender. He's a contender with Curry and LeBron. Just those two. So
we talking Vel's Dreamers.
Yeah, they're a contender.
They're contender.
Curry and LeBron this year, hell yeah.
What you think?
They both on a mission.
What you think, Jones?
I think they're a contender, man. When you got Curry, that he's going to be the main focus. He's going to be putting out mega numbers, like video game numbers by himself. Him and D'Angelo. And on LeBron, he got something to prove. He talking stuff now. So, around those two and everybody else he has, they fit in well with that team. I think overall we don't have pretty much all contenders. It's just we don't have to come and do a podcast and see contender or pretender. I know, but that's a certain situation.
The pretenders, hold on. The pretenders are coming. Just relax.
Oh, they coming?
Yeah.
All right, but I
think there's some definite.
I don't know, Bill. It just depends on what he does in this draft. If he frees up, you know what I'm saying?
Right. All right, Ryan, what you think?
I think contender, and you said Rozier, right? That's one of his keepers. Yeah, like that's actually a real shrewd move because he's going to come in there. He's gonna get some run as number one, starting at the point guard position, and I think he's motivated to have a really good season. So I think he's under the radar for sure as a keeper. But yeah, I mean, you're talking LeBron, man. I mean, it's definitely a contender.
Yeah, I think your team reminds me of the Boston Celtics when they got KG, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce. You're definitely in a win now mode. It all depends on how you draft. Like you got Aldridge, who's still, he's older, but he's still putting up numbers. Yeah. You got LeBron, who, you know what I mean, he's still gonna put up numbers, but he's getting long in the tooth. And Curry's getting up there, but I think this is going to be Curry's best fantasy year, man. That's what I feel. I think Rozier, the verdict is still out, but he has the best opportunity out of any player that's probably in fantasy right now. So, he wanted his own team. He got it. We're going to see what he's going to do with it. And, if Kemba was any indication of what he can do in Charlotte, then Terry Rozier's in good hands. They really have nobody else.
I think he's 20 and 10 locked in.
Yeah, I don't know if the 10 part, because who he passing it to?
20 for sure.
He might be 20 and 5, 20 and 6. Because Kemba wasn't even no 20 and 10.
Well, Kemba
he's not better than Kemba.
Rozier has a little. I think he's a little more assist heavy.
To who?
Anybody pass it to? Just the big men, anybody inside.
What big man they got?
Yeah, they got everybody.
They got Willie Herman Gomez and Cody Zeller.
Right. I mean, just somebody that, like Kenner. Like Kenner can get you what 10, 15 points inside. So if you give him great passes, he'll score.
Yeah,
but he's not on the Hornets.
So I think he'll get 10 assists.
I think if Willie Herman Gomez can start, I mean, if he look like I like him, I don't understand why they didn't really give him that much shine in Charlotte, because he looked pretty promising in New York. But they're gonna have to, I think Malik Monk gonna have to step up. I think Bridges, but I don't know.
Gonna be better this year.
He's gonna be better. But it's like, are any of those guys ready to take that leap to be a second 20-point scorer? Like Terry Rozier is that team. And
plus,
I don't know what it is.
They're going to tank, man. They're going to try and tank this year because I think MJ's finally figured it out. Like he's got to tank for a few years, and they got to get some picks in there and get some.
Just don't get another Kwame Brown or another Marvin, whatever. All them Michael Kidd Gilchrist.
Yeah, Michael Kidd Gilchrist. Man.
Yeah, so he's like the biggest disappointment ever.
So I think Rozier is definitely on that come up. You know what I mean? This is what he wanted. He's going to get it. We're gonna see what he does with it, and I think your X factor is still to do Bam, because I think he's another person that has great opportunity to shine in Miami, because it's really just Jimmy Butler.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I like the Tyler Hero kid, but he's a rookie. Deion Waiters. He's gonna give you 40 games. Justice Winslow is on the trading block. Same with Dragic. So I think it's really going to be built around Jimmy Butler, and I think Bam is that they're big for the future. And plus, he's versatile.
With Bam, is he a better fantasy player, or just is it going to be more translated more just real life basketball? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he could be a really good player this year, but it might not translate over to fantasy. That's the only thing.
It might be a little bit of both. Because I think
he could do like 15, 14, something like Drummond.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah,
I give him 20 and 10 this year.
Ooh. Nah,
I hope.
All right.
Yeah.
Now with
I say more on the rebounds than points.
Whiteside is going. Y'all watch.
I mean, I really hope for you. But I think more than 10. I think he's like at least 14, 15 boards. I think that's his game. Rebound.
Yeah, he's
not really a creator. I mean, I hope. I don't see 20 though, not this year.
I mean,
I could be wrong though.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't hope against me, but
like you traded a high draft pick for him.
Well, is Dragic gonna stay there?
No.
Nah, they trying to trade him. They trying to move him.
I know they trying to, but they don't move him though.
No, they moving him, man. He in his last year. He's gonna be easy to move.
I'm gonna tell you like this: if Miami can somehow get like a Chris Paul, then he's gonna be 20 and 10.
I can
I
see
still-
that.
You know what? OKC might be willing to do that because Dragic in his last years.
Yeah,
you know they trying to get rid of. They might be willing to do that.
You give up Dragic and somebody like Justice Winslow or something like that.
No, send him to OKC. Bring Chris Paul back in that trade. That might happen.
Because I think Chris Paul and Jimmy Butler got the personalities that they can mesh well because they're both hard-nosed players.
Yeah.
They might fight a couple times in the locker room, but I think on the court they can get it done.
Yeah.
Well, I still think he's going to average more than 10 rebounds. I'm feeling 14, 15.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
they really have nobody to crash the boards like that, to be honest. So
he's going to do it.
he might be that 14, 15 or 15 and 15 type of player.
Yeah.
He gonna have a no trade clause after.
All right, so we're gonna go into my squad. We got Cat, Joker, Booker, Mitchell, and Fox.
All-star squad. What kind of shit is that?
Yeah.
They ain't no all-star
All right.
team.
Dynasty.
Nah.
Really?
But I will take that. I will say I'm a contender, but I don't. They still got to play, man. Like, what you think, Ryan?
Man, well, look, I gave you Booker, so we made that deal. So that made your team way better.
I gave you Cat.
But look, you got Cat and Jokic, man. Like, that's ridiculous enough. And then you're going to add in Booker, Fox, who I was after for a while. Yeah, I mean, come on, man. You could contend for the title this year, easy, unless somebody gets hurt. It doesn't even really matter who you draft.
Yeah, it matters.
Yeah, it matters.
It
matters, but it doesn't matter in a way because you got some studs on that team.
What you think, Unc?
Definitely contender. I'll see you in the finals.
Oh,
dang! Boy, that's a bold prediction. What you think, Val?
Definitely a contender, man. Trade me one of them guards.
I don't know if I got any.
For LeBron.
There you go. Jones,
Westbrook for Curry.
Jones, what you think?
Contender. You got you top heavy, you bottom heavy. You already know what you need to get. So you coming out the gate, with the assist just from the center spot alone. So that's definitely a contender.
Yeah, I had a game plan coming into the summer, like all last season. I kind of knew it wasn't my year. You know what I mean? So I tried to acquire a lot of young talent just to try to make some deals in the summer to acquire like a good solid five that I could actually chill on and not trade all year. But like Booker's my guy. You know what I mean? He scares me with his health. That's what I'm worried about. But if he does what he's doing in this summer, just don't double team him.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't double team me, man.
Mitchell's my favorite out of all of them. That's just the sentimental value right there. So Mitchell's my guy. I think he takes a leap and get better with Conley. Fox, I was on the fence with for a minute because I think that's when I did the deal with you with Lillard. Because I was gonna keep Damian Lillard because that was my guy too. But I just remember this is like the 10th season that we're into with fantasy basketball in this league. And I own Westbrook his second year. And he got me to the chip. His numbers is very identical to De'Aaron Fox, except for Fox's percentages was better. So once I did my research, I said I'm gonna hold on to Fox. And Joker's my guy and Cat Daddy. We're gonna see what he do. I think now that Jimmy's out of there, he can finally breathe a little bit.
They got nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing else.
So all right, let's get into to Dedro's team. I'm trying not to laugh.
Who we
got? We to the pretenders, it sounds like. Oh boy.
Nah, his team. All right, Anthony Davis, Miles Turner, Brogdon, Steven Adams, and I got Kevin Durant.
Well, it has to be pretender because Durant's not playing.
That's like a default team. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you got to be a pretender.
what you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be pretender without Durant, right? And then Brogdon, really? I don't know. I mean, I like Brogdon, but not as a keeper, man.
And he's just he's the most consistent guy ever.
Yeah. What you think, Vel?
I mean, because of the injury, I'm not. I like Brogdon. I can't hate on him. You know, shoot, he could actually be sneaky good, but I don't know what's going to happen with Oladipo. It all depends on that. But yeah, not having Kevin Durant, it ain't much you can do without that.
What about you, Jones?
And he only got one bona fide stud that's healthy. He don't have enough.
Yeah.
Contender, man. I mean, I understand what he's doing, and maybe he is trying to,
I feel bad for them, brother.
he's probably trying to, retool his dynasty. You know what I'm saying? So rebuilding time. So I don't see him being there. He might slip up with some good draft picks and everything, make the playoffs, but I don't think he's really worried about a championship this
year. Yeah, Deidro, you my boy, but I gotta be real, man. Chicken pretenders. Yeah, I feel bad for him because like he really had a contender if you really looked at what he had. Like he had Clay, he also had Klay Thompson. So he could have had Klay Thompson, KD, and Anthony Davis. That would have shifted the whole analysis of his team right there.
Yeah.
So, I feel bad he kind of suffered, through the playoffs, the real playoffs, by losing some key players. So he's a pretender by default, you know what I mean? Because Brogdon's not really a keeper. He's a good guy to draft, but I feel like, you know what I mean, there's other players out there in the waiver wire right now that's better than Brogdon. And I feel like Steven Adams really is not a keeper either, especially, you don't know what's going to happen on that team. If he stays there with Chris Paul and they ride it out for the season, then he still could be a double-double guy. But he's one of those bigs that you could draft. Like, he's not going to have any more upside than what he already did.
Yeah, he's a draft. Yeah, he's a total draftable big for me. Like, not non-keeper material.
Yeah, so we got our first pretender. All right, we're going to go to DK, Embiid, Pascal Siakam, DeMar DeRozan, Blake Griffin, and Marvin Bagley. What you think, Jones?
I like his team, man. Contender. I like Siakam. Bagley, he got some young talent coming up and growing. And he got Embiid. He's gonna be a beast when he plays low management, especially with Horford there. And what was his other one?
Yeah, DeMar DeRozan and Blake Griffin.
Yeah, Blake Griffin, injury risk, but when he plays, he balls.
Mm-hmm.
DeMar DeRozan, healthy. He gonna give you 20, 25 and 5. Yeah, contender. Based on staying healthy and the potential contender. You got 3 studs. 2. So that's contender.
What you think, Ryan?
Yeah, contender. I think it's the most volatile team in the league because Embiid could go down to any second. Blake Griffin, injury risk. He played the most. I think he stayed healthier than he has last year in a long time.
Yeah.
Bagley, injury risk. But if everything pans out, they're absolutely a contender on paper. So, I think it's gonna be fine.
What you think,
Contender.
What you think?
As long as they stay healthy, he's definitely a contender.
What you think, Vel?
Definitely contender. And yeah, it's all based on health, but that's definitely a solid team.
Yeah, I think it's a contender. I mean, he went to the finals last year. We played against you in the chip, right?
Yeah.
And he virtually kept the same team, so that's a contender just off the rip. I think DeMar DeRozan, that's pretty much the safest superstar you could really have on your team because you know exactly what you're going to get from him. He's in a great system that needs him. So, I mean, he's a stud. I think Blake Griffin, he's an X factor. You know what I mean? If he stays healthy and plays like he played last year, he's going to take them to, deep into the playoffs and, maybe in a chip. You got Marvin Bagley, who I was trying to get from him all season. I think he takes that leap this year. I think he's going to be that guy, like kind of like he reminds me of like Fox. Like De'Aaron Fox had all the talent in the world. Everybody expected him to ball out his first season, and he kind of came out the gates a little slow. But I think his second year, like, is going to be the year where we're going to see what Marvin Bagley is really about. He just got to stay healthy. And they got, Dwayne Dedman, who's really is a complimentary big next to, a stud power forward. And, I think Pascal Siakam, that's his team in Toronto. So,
oh yeah,
he's definitely
real good this year.
I want him back.
Yeah, he's tapping into that all-star level, man. So
I said I want him back.
Yeah, that was my discovery, man. Nobody knew about him until I grabbed that joker.
DK, you get that contender, buddy. All right, let's go on the Heem's team. Already. Kawhi Leonard, Andre Drummond, Mike Conley, CJ McCollum, and Julius Randle. Oh, what you think? I'll start with you since you interrupted me by laughing.
I'm laughing. In all honesty, he's a contender.
He's a what?
He's a contender. In all honesty, he is.
He said you wasn't gonna make the playoffs in the last podcast. That was his bold prediction.
I know, but
I gotta get my Don King on real quick.
Yeah, I know he's just talking trash. He know what's up. But now he's quite a contender. Really, I laugh and joke about it, but he got a pretty good starting five. Everybody's solid on there.
Okay.
Yeah, he's all right.
What you think, Vel?
I think Julius Randle's gonna have a breakout season.
Yeah, I like it. And Julius Randle definitely gonna have a good year. New York really don't got much, so if he get all his burn, he gonna have a breakout year for real.
Yeah, I mean, he had a breakout year last year with New Orleans, and that was with Anthony Davis. So just imagine what New York gonna do.
Right.
Yeah.
What you think, Jones?
Contender. He's definitely a contender. And only thing I can say is like what we talked about in the beginning of the podcast with Kawhi. When he goes against those other teams and he be healthy and Kawhi just sits out and he needs him. That's hypothetical, but on paper it looks good. Contender.
What you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I think same thing. Contender. I think it's funny the Knicks got like a million power forwards on that team, and it's just kind of hilarious. But Julius Randle's awesome, man. He's gonna have a great year. I think it depends how he drafts. He's got to draft around that, but yeah, contender.
Yeah, I think definitely a contender for me. I think this is one of his most balanced teams coming into the fantasy league. Like if you look at it, he got his stud wing in Kawhi on paper. CJ McCollum is a stud shooting guard. Mm-hmm. You got Mike Conley, who's underrated. You know what I mean? But he's going to be decent in Utah. You got your double machine in Drummond.
Oh yeah.
And then you got your stud power forward, who's on a new team with new opportunity to ball out. So I think he really has a good, starting five. He just got to not mess it up in the draft.
Yeah.
Or trade it away to me.
Yo, he said he's not making no deals when the season starts.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right.
I don't believe that either.
Yo, he really likes his team, y'all. I'm telling you. He likes his team. I think he's going to try to stick it out.
If I offer Westbrook, he'll take it right now.
Yeah, right now. You ain't going to do it.
That's right.
All right, we're going to go to Ernst's team. Paul George, Bradley Beal, Luka Doncic, Kyle Lowry, and Clint Capella. Lavelle, what you think?
Definitely a contender.
Jones, what you think?
I like his team. He is point guard heavy though.
Point guard heavy?
Who you say? Luca is a power forward, right? Small forward.
Yeah, his only point guard is really Kyle Lowry.
Okay, all right. Nah, contender. I like his team. I like what Bill is going to do this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be a monster. Luca, they said he's going to be in better shape, so I'm scared to see what he look like. So contender. Contender.
What you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, I only tried to trade for Doncic like 50 times.
Man, let it go.
Over my whole team at one point, trying to get him. Yeah, contender all day. I mean, Kyle Lowry. I don't really like Lowry, but if that's your worst player out of all your keepers, then
he averaged like 11 assists last year.
He's getting older, man.
He is, but
Lowry,
I think he's gonna have his best season this year.
Yeah,
you got great for him.
It's his team. It's really his team this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think he definitely has a contender. I think he tried to balance his team out a little bit. Like I like, the Luka Doncic and Paul George combo. I like that. I like Bradley Beal. I think Bradley Beal killed me last in the playoffs. So I gotta say a contender. Like Bradley Beal single-handedly put me out of the playoffs last year. So I got nothing but respect for that. I got nothing but hate and respect for that, man. But, yeah, Bradley Beal, he had those 3 40-point games. I couldn't compete with that. Yeah, I think Clint Capella, he's going to be a double-double machine again. And I think his weakest link is Kyle Lowry, but I know he got Kyle Lowry because a lot of the point guards are going to get snatched up early in the draft, where a lot of point guards on everybody else's team. And, Kyle Lowry is still an underrated point guard, that can get you good assists. And I think he has enough scoring to balance it out. The only thing that I would consider if I was him, and I don't want to put too much out there in the atmosphere too much, but I probably would have kept Draymond Green over Lowry. That's just me. He had Draymond on his team.
It's just tough with those other guys justifying Draymond over Lowry. That's the only thing.
Yeah, but it all depends. If you look at it, a lot of teams got at least 2 bigs coming into the draft.
Yep, that's true.
So now he's coming out the gate. You know exactly what he's going to have to look for.
Yep.
But I mean, he should be all right. He got a great starting 5, so it'll balance itself out. So Ern, you got a contender. All right, let's go into all right, we got about 3 teams left, I think. All right, we got Kevin. We just did a deal, y'all, by the way. I traded him Jaren Jackson Jr. for a 7th round pick. So Russ, I try to give you Jaren Jackson Jr., but you thought I was getting over. Try to give me a 10th round for him, a 10th rounder. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Once I break down Russ' team, you'll probably understand why he should have took Jaren Jackson Jr. But yeah, Kevin got Jimmy Butler, Trae Young, Jaren Jackson Jr., Tobias Harris, and Buddy Hield. What you think?
Nice young team. Definitely a contender.
What you think, Ryan?
Contender. It's a good looking team, but he's got a lot. He's gonna have to draft and maybe make some trades throughout the year. Because I mean, I like Buddy Hield a lot. I think he's gonna come in and be real underrated. But when you got him and you got Jimmy Butler, it's kind of like having sort of the same type of player there a little bit. But JJJ, you know how much I love him. I mean, shoot, he's one of my favorite young players in the whole league. So that's a great addition.
What you think?
Trae Young too, right?
Yeah, you got Trae Young.
Yeah. I got a nice young team. I like it.
What you think? What you think, Jones?
I like it. It's young. He got a lot of potential and a lot of growth, so I like it.
Like I think if we're talking contender for the chip, I would say no. But as far as getting to the playoffs, I think he has a playoff team. I think he could actually scare a lot of people in the playoffs if he drafts well. And I don't believe in his drafting skills like that. So I don't think he's a contender as far as the chip, but he's definitely got a young team like Trae Young. I think Trae Young is a great young guard. Jaren Jackson Jr. is I love Jaren Jackson Jr. He was gonna be my keeper if I didn't get Booker. Who else? Buddy Hield. I'm not really like Buddy Hield. I like him, but I put Buddy Hield in that like Eric Gordon, JJ Redick. He's the better version of those guys. Like he's going to give you the 20, 22, 23 with nothing else. Jimmy Butler. If Jimmy Butler stay healthy, and if you don't, piss off Eric Spoelstra, he can be decent. I just don't like Jimmy Butler. That's just me. Yeah. So I just personally don't like him. I think Kevin's going to have to definitely go and get a real big because Jaren Jackson Jr. is a great power forward, but he doesn't get a lot of rebounds. So he has a good team with the option of being a great team if all his players play up to their potential.
Well, hold on. Let me put my 2 cents in on this with Buddy Hield. If I can get him, I'm trading for Buddy Hield because he's gotten better each and every season, and he's still going to get better.
That's your guy.
Buddy Hield is Klay Thompson.
I agree with Uncle on that one.
He's Klay Thompson Jr. He's still just learning. He's not Klay is cerebral. He's a smart man. And I ain't trying to call Buddy dumb, but Buddy's still learning. But the skills are there. But once he learns and knows what he's doing, which he's learning every year, oh, man.
And he ain't no spring chicken. He played 4 years in college, didn't he?
I know, but he just, some people are just slow, man.
Yeah, but he like down there. How old is he?
Yo,
like 27, 28?
I don't want to say this, but he's kind of like a doofus, meaning
he looked like the donkey off Shrek.
That's right. He's like a doofus, he's just slow. Well, you know what I mean?
Hey man, I think he's gonna be real good this year. I think he can average 5 points a game.
Right, he's going to be better. All I'm saying is he has problems learning plays, learning the offense. He just has problems with the paperwork part of it. But as far as playing, he can do that. But when he has to play organized ball, he still struggles with that.
No, I mean I think him and Darren Fox is like the new Bradley Beal, John Wall.
Yeah. I feel you on that.
My only thing is if Marvin Bagley, if he increases in his role and gets better, will that take away touches from Buddy Hield? Potentially.
If he doesn't know the offense, and if he doesn't grasp it yet, then yes. But if he finally grasps it this year, then nah.
And they still got to incorporate Harrison Barnes in like they got him late last year.
Harrison
Barnes screwed everything up for fantasy. A lot of these
Yeah.
What about the boy Bogdanovich?
Yeah, I like him.
That's what I'm saying. Like Buddy Hield,
like they got too many of the same players, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I still think he's gonna be. I still think he's gonna be good, and I think because he's gonna have games where if he's hot and he can make 5 or 6 threes, then he's gonna have a great game. And so it's gonna be one of them things where because he's a 3-point shooter, I think he's gonna have a little bit more value over the course of the year, even if players are taking away shots. And Bagley,
but only thing that he don't do too much in nothing else.
That's true. That's the knock on him.
Because they don't need him to. Like if you notice, you got De'Aaron Fox that's going to get you steals, get you assists.
No, I agree, but what I'm saying for fantasy, that's real life. But we're talking about fantasy right now.
That's why I put him in like the. I don't know. That's just me.
You put him in the right category, but
he's a specialist.
Right, he's a specialist. And
he
allow him to. And he know what the hell he's doing. If he finally learns that, he can have a lot of 40, 50-point games.
Yeah.
But
once he's locked in, he's locked in.
Yeah. That's kind of why I say that his team is on the cusp of being a contender because he got the right pieces on paper, but when you look at it, he don't have that guy that can do a little bit of everything and do it all. Like Jimmy Butler is the closest thing he got. Tobias is, what Tobias is going to get you. That's going to be like 17 and 8. 18-8. You know what I mean? Trae Young is going to get you assists and points, but he don't really get a lot of steals. He don't get no defensive stats because look at him. He's small.
And Trae Young had them games last year where he was like, he would just shoot horrible and it would just kill your whole week. So he's got to try and not have those types of games this year either.
So I'm thinking like if Buddy Hield was on the team with Giannis and Harden, on the team with Westbrook and Lillard, like I'd be like, damn, or even like Curry and LeBron.
Right, LeBron's the key. Guess what? If the Lakers, I know it sounds crazy, but the Lakers can actually. I know this thing is going to work out, but if Kuzma's jump shooting ability is like last year's, is not working, I would trade Kuzma for Buddy Hield, and LeBron could teach that boy. And by the time championship time comes, it's over. But that'd be Clay Jr. all over. Because LeBron can tell him where to go and tell him what to do. Because he needs that. He needs somebody to tell him where to be, tell him where to go. I mean, like I said, he's doofus. But he got the skills.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. He's definitely a poor man's player.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, I think he has that boom or bust. I think I definitely see him making the playoffs with his team if he draft the right way. But Kevin, stop drafting all them damn wings, man.
And he looks like J.R. Smith, so that's part of his doofusness.
Oh yeah. All right. So let's move on. We got 2 more teams left.
Russell.
Let's go with Russ. Let's get it out the way. Russ inherited Roddy's old team. You know what I mean? So he got Victor Oladipo, Zach LaVine, Jonas Valanciunas, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander,
I like him.
Yeah.
Evan Fournier.
Oh, it's how he did. Hey, you want Kevin Love? Hey, Russ, I'll trade you Kevin Love, man.
Yo, let me start this off. It's a pretender. You know what I mean? Like straight off the back, like it's no doubt. And it's not really his fault, but he had the opportunity to make changes. Like I offered him Jaren Jackson Jr. for a 7th rounder. You know what I mean? Like Jaren Jackson Jr.'s value is listed as a 4th round guy this year. Like I would definitely took that over Evan Fournier. Like Evan Fournier, damn near might not. You know he should be owned, but he should be a guy that you pick in the 12th round or 11th round, something like that. I think his role is really going to diminish more in Orlando because they got up and coming young players that's getting better. Would the Fultz finally see the light of day or something like that? You know what I mean? Like the good thing about Fournier is, you know, he's a shooter, so he'll always be. He's like the porous, the crackhead version of Buddy Hield.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He gonna get you that 15, 16. He gonna blow up for a couple good games, but he's no way, shape, form a keeper in any league. You know what I mean? But you know, Russell had opportunities to make moves. He just got to pull the trigger on something, man. I'm pretty much out the game. But you know, I love Oladipo. I'm hoping that he gets better, come back stronger and healthy. And I love Zach LaVine, man. I mean, I was considering throwing him, you know, doing a deal around Booker and Zach LaVine, man. I was contemplating that just to give him a stud. But, you know, I like those two. I think Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, I like him a lot. I would like him even better if they get rid of Chris Paul. But I think he's a beast. Jonas Valanciunas, he pretty much had to keep that because he was a big, and I think he's going to be better in Memphis. But, you know, he kind of falls in that Steven Adams category. He's a guy that you can draft, wouldn't keep.
Yeah.
And Evan Fournier, like I said, you already know how I feel about that. So, I mean, by default, he's a pretender for me. What you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking for a silver lining towards the contenders category. But yeah, I mean, it's not his fault, man. I mean, but Evan Fournier, you just can't do it. And I think Shea is another year away. I think that he'll have some good games this year, but I think next year is the year that you really want to have him And and Jonas, yeah, I mean Jonas will be a solid big, but he's draftable. He's not really a keeper.
What you think, Unc?
Pretender, but I can help him out. Look in the camera, Russ. Kevin Love. You can have him. Give me a nice pick.
See, there you go. Lavelle, what you think?
I mean, he gonna struggle if he don't make the right moves. I mean, he got some work to do.
And this could have been your team if the coin toss went the other
Coin
way.
toss. Yeah, but I would have already probably made some moves.
Yeah, it was definitely between him, between Lavelle and Russ to get this team, man. Lavelle just won the coin toss, made the right pick. What you think, Jones?
Anybody that keeps Fournier is a pretender.
Yeah, I think me personally, I think the mindset of keeping him makes you a pretender.
Yeah,
It doesn't even matter about the players that you got on your team. Like he was originally considering keeping Joe Harris and Evan Fournier.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? So I think he has a solid 3 that he could have went in there. Like, Levine, Oladipo, and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander would have been a solid 3. I think he could have worked some draft picks and got even if he got like a Kevin Love and then what it did and got Jaren Jackson Jr. It still would have been, borderline pretender, but it'd been a lot better. At least it'd been more balanced.
Shit, he had Gallinari. He averaged 24, 25 last year.
Yeah, I mean,
he's got to start working that trade wire, man, because Levine has a lot of value. So there'd be people would be interested in giving you some stuff for him.
I think the problem is that Levine and Depot is his only valuable guys that he can trade, and he's trying to acquire that. So acquire more for those guys, you know what I mean, to add with them. But if that's the case, then he needs to trade draft picks because he got his first, second, and third round draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So he only really lose his middle pick. So I'd have been looking at trying to get rid of that third round pick.
Yep.
Or, if Unk's trying to give you Kevin Love, I was trying to give him Jaren Jackson for a 7th rounder, I would have jumped on that without even thinking about it. You know what I mean? But, hey, we'll see, man. I mean, he'll learn the hard way because, one thing about Russ, he's a smart kid. Like, he's a smart guy. He'll get it. You know what I mean? It might not be this year. Once he figure it out, get a year underneath his belt, he probably get better. He's in a prime position to draft a lot of young players and a lot of young assets. So,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure I inherited the team my first year in the league, and it wasn't pretty.
You had everybody had that pretender initiation.
Yeah, especially me.
Yeah, and you're a testament to really Ashy the Classy. So if he follows that blueprint, I think Russ would be all right, man. I wouldn't have brought him in the league, and he wouldn't have got that team if I didn't feel confident that he would turn it around. So I just think once he gets the hang of things and the hang of the keeper league, he won't ever do that Fournier stuff again.
Nah, you bet not.
So, all right, we got the last and final team. We got C's in the building. We got Kemba Walker, Laurie Marketing, Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, and Colin Sexton. Jones, what you think?
Name them 5 again, please.
Kemba Walker, Laurie Marketing, Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, and Colin Sexton.
Great.
Man. I'll be back, man. Come to me in 2. Let me think about it.
Damn. All right, Lavelle, what you think?
Man,
Pretender.
it's like they solid players, but there's no.
Right.
Well, Kemba could be a stud, but outside of that,
Pretender, man.
What's the verdict?
The baby said pretender.
Hey, y'all gonna put it on a. It's messed up. Y'all put it on a newbie, man. Like I could have said it, man. Don't put me on the spot.
All right, we got two comebacks. We got two comebacks. I'll come back to you
Oh,
and
man.
you and Jones. Ryan,
I
what you
go,
think?
man. I go.
All right.
Man, he's a pretender, man. Colin
Say that again.
Saxon, he's a pretender, man. Colin Saxon is
Be
unproven.
honest, Ryan.
Marketing, unproven. Those pretender, man. I just say pretender.
What you think?
I like the blue bow, man. The blue arrow. I like him.
Yeah, I
He's
love
not a stud. He's not a stud,
Damn, I
though.
can't hear him now neither.
Jones said pretender. Oh,
Pretender, okay.
what you
I
think,
can't hear
Ryan?
Ryan now either.
Ryan, no, Ryan ain't talking yet. Ryan, what you think?
Man, pretender, man. I can't with it. Like
There you
Colin
go.
Sexton, another year. You gotta give him another year, but he's gonna have good moments.
2.
I
Yeah,
still don't
maybe
like
2. Aaron Gordon, I cannot stand Aaron Gordon. Like, just, I can't stand him. You know, you play for Orlando, I probably can't stand you. What a waste of stuff that it can be. But anyway, yeah, pretender, man. He's trying, like marketing. I get it. Like he has potential, but you know that Bulls team is going to be all over the place, man. So yeah, pretender.
Oh, what you think?
Free tender.
And you want to elaborate, or you going to end on that?
Sexton. What?
All right. I mean, Lavelle, you want to go?
Aaron Gordon.
Well, I'm gonna put it like this. Like a reason why I ain't say pretender because I know, like everybody he got can put up numbers, so we can't sit here and say like,
Who?
what do you mean?
Who can
You
put up
gonna tell me
numbers?
marketing can't put up numbers?
Marketing
Just
can.
marketing. Who else?
Kemba
Kemba.
Walker is definitely a number
Okay,
guy.
that's just 2. Who else?
Who else is on there again? Go there again, Fred.
Jamal Murray can
Murray.
put up. He can put up
He can
numbers.
put up
Yeah,
numbers.
Murray can put
Jamal
He had a
numbers.
fantasy
So,
season last
all
year.
right, that's
He's not
3
having
right
that
there.
season again.
All right, what's
That's-
the and you said Sexton?
Colin Sexton
Hold on, you said
and
Colin
Aaron
Sexton
Gordon.
and
And
who else?
Aaron Gordon.
They all can put up numbers. Don't give me that.
No, they can't. They cannot.
Yeah, they
Aaron
can.
Gordon cannot put up numbers. He's a bust.
Yes.
I just
What
want
you
to.
keep saying in the playoffs?
Let me just add chime in just real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You said put up numbers. My thing is consistently.
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon, his best season was when he was in a contract year. Last year, he was only averaging like 15 points. And you got other players that's getting better on that team. Like I think Jonathan Isaac's going to take a little shine this year. You know what I mean? Vooch ain't going to just back down to nobody. Colin Sexton, Cleveland thought so great of him that they drafted Darius Garland. Like just remember that. That's somebody that I would this year. I like Darius Garland over.
Oh, but you got to remember.
Then there's 4.
Yep, that's why he got
but
cut off. He lying for the guy.
yeah, I mean, my thing is, I think C's definitely got a plan. You know what I mean? Like, I like Jamal Murray. I think Jamal Murray is up there. Like y'all feel about Buddy Hield, I feel that way about Jamal Murray. I think he's only going to get better and be the real. You know, he might be their leading scorer outside of Jokic. If Jokic could just facilitate, you know, he's pretty much solidified with his 20, 10, and 7. But I think, hold on, let me add Lavelle back.
My fault, man.
I think opposite. I think Murray's season gonna go down.
I think Murray got potential to lead the team in scoring.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't doubt them Kentucky shooting guards, man.
I just don't see it. I mean, he started off hot last year, but he came back to earth real soon.
Yeah, I mean, you know what he is? I'm gonna be real with you. This is gonna sound crazy. He's a today's version of OJ Mayo.
I can agree with that.
In
I think he'll
between,
end up being better than OJ Mayo, but I see where you're going with that.
I'm talking about when OJ Mayo first came out, he was 18-5-5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It ain't until Tony Allen punched him in his face that his numbers dropped.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel the same way you were saying about. I think his team's going to have really good weeks, and then they're going to have weeks when they're horrible. So,
I mean, considering that he did have the worst team in the league last year, you know what I mean? I think like I'm not sold on Aaron Gordon like that. Like Aaron Gordon had his best season 2 years ago.
He does a little bit of everything, but nothing great.
Yeah, and it's like he took a step back.
To trade him.
Huh?
He was enthusiastic to trade me for Aaron Gordon.
That's his guy. No, like one thing about
like, wow.
Yo, Aaron Gordon is his guy, man. He's been his guy for a minute. I remember the first year he got Aaron Gordon when he was on a come up. He had high hopes for Aaron Gordon. Throwing back out there, and I drafted him. He was mad. But I think marketing, the only thing that scares me, like he's like Baby Dirk. You know what I mean? I like marketing a lot.
I love marketing.
I think marketing is an animal. Only thing that scares me is his health, but I like him. If he can play up to his potential, he got a stud.
Well, maybe I'll trade him for Westbrook because he needs me.
He'll do it. Westbrook's his guy. I don't know if we'll see. Hit him up. But yeah, do I think this team is good enough to go to the chip right now? No. And maybe he can draft a squad around what he got, because he does has the first pick in the first round. Zion.
Yeah, we know we're going there.
Yep.
So what I'm saying is his team has potential within the next 3 to 4 seasons. Like he's on that trust the process deal.
Give me a second. Right
okay.
So his team is really literally trust the process. But I think the general consensus with everybody here is
This year.
Only this
He's gonna be
year.
trusting the process for a little while. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, his future's looking bright though. With marketing Murray, if he does get Zion, like that's one hell of a, you know what I mean, start for a good future.
Yeah.
And I still think Colin Sexton's gonna get burned, but I just think he's a scoring guard. Like he still averaged like close to 18 last year.
Yeah.
And I think he's gonna be better this year. I think he's gonna put up numbers.
It scares me though. I mean, because you got to look at it. None of the veterans liked him. You know what I mean? They say he didn't know how to play basketball last year because he only was looking to score, wasn't looking to make anybody better. Then Cleveland drafted Darius Garland. Like Garland would have been up there with John Morant if he would have played a full season. They forget.
Right. So maybe they looking to move. What's the other boy? Because he's in like his last year, right?
Jordan Clarkson.
Right.
Yeah, but here's the flip side to that. Not only did they draft Darius Garland, they drafted Kevin Porter Jr. Like, Kevin Porter Jr. was touted to be like the next James Harden. He just was a knucklehead. So you got 2 guards to virtually kind of play the same position as Sexton.
So that pick from Detroit, I'm mad about that.
So I think his leash is going to be shorter this season. You know what I mean? Last year they didn't have really nothing to replace him with. Jordan Clarkson was really like a 6-man.
Right.
But this year, if Colin Sexton doesn't play the right way, like they have other options.
Plus Cleveland's just horrible anyway, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think that they also said they could try to do the Portland backcourt with Lillard and CJ McCollum, but with Sexton and Garland. So they could probably do it that way too. You just never know. They're gonna need all the scoring they can get, so he's definitely gonna get burned. It's just a matter of does he do anything else outside of score?
And is his percentage just going to just continue to weigh him down even if he does score too? I mean, it depends how you want.
Yeah,
that's true.
Man, that's Seti's team.
Yeah.
That's who?
That's Seti Osman's team, man.
Seti Osman.
That's
Come
Seti's
on,
squad, man.
And they got a new coach too, right? He's like 80 years old, man.
The boy from Michigan.
Yeah.
Jim Beeline. And Beeline like to play up tempo, so they're gonna get a lot of burn.
Yeah, so I think Garland and
he likes to play 3 guards.
Yeah, so I think Garland and Sexton are going to be in the backcourt together. So I mean that might not be a bad look. It's just a matter of do you think Sexton is a keeper, or was he a draftable guy?
I think Sexton's a draftable guy.
Okay. And that's that's when it comes down to pretender and contender to me. Like, do you have a legit keeper on your team, or do you just have guys as placeholders? Like Aaron Gordon is a placeholder for Zion to me. You know what I mean? Once he drafts Zion, I think Aaron Gordon's gonna be an afterthought.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Or it might be Saxton.
Yeah, he likes Sexton though. I mean, he tried to trade Sexton for De'Aaron Fox early in the summer.
Maybe he is
What?
one on the move.
Yeah, so I mean, I think C's one thing about him, he's willing to shake it up, but I think he likes who he likes. So I think marketing, he ain't going nowhere.
Not even for Westbrook.
That's a different discussion right there.
I think Westbrook's gonna last about 10 more hours on your team, and then
I think if I had marketing, I think we would make that deal.
I mean, and if he drafts Zion number 1, that's going to be a fun player to own the whole year too. So
exactly,
yeah.
So I mean, that's all 12 teams. So we had a few pretenders, a lot of contenders, but at the end, it can only be one.
Yeah.
Everybody feel good about their team. It looks like on this panel, everybody likes their squad. Now we just got to draft. I mean, I don't want to get too detailed or anything or too crazy, but anybody got any draft strategies or what they might be looking for in the draft?
Nah, I don't even know yet.
Poker face.
I'm not poker face.
I think we're gonna get into that in the next podcast a little bit, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be a good thing to talk about next podcast.
Yep. All right, so everybody got a plan. So before we wrap it up, I got to get the bold predictions from everybody on this one because we did it last time. Ryan, what's your bold prediction?
For what?
Fantasy basketball.
Just any bold prediction?
Any bold prediction. It could be anything.
Prediction. Ben Simmons is going to end up being a top 5 player by the end of the year.
There you go. What you think?
My bold prediction that I will win the ship again. And I will have the best draft again.
You didn't have it last year.
Jones said you didn't have the best draft last year.
Yes, I did.
No, you did. How many people that you drafted won the championship?
The championship proves I had the best draft last year.
No, it doesn't.
Heem Stray did put me over, but still.
My question was, but answer my question, how many of the people you drafted was on that championship team?
What did he say?
How many people you drafted led you to the championship?
Tell her collectively everybody.
Stop, man.
Because my draft pieces led to my trades.
Yo,
work together for my good.
Unc is the reigning and defending champ. He can say whatever you want right now.
I'm just saying that's just how I work. You see how I work.
I got you. Well, Jones, what's your bold prediction?
Karis LeVert will be an all-star.
Okay. A fantasy all-star in real life?
Both.
You hear that?
I think he has something to prove.
No, I didn't hear.
He said Karis LeVert will be an all-star in fantasy and in real life.
Okay. But tell him my draft led me to, where did I go, like 99?
He ain't letting that go.
He answered my question, though. You still didn't answer my question.
Was it more than that? Wasn't like maybe 14 though?
Yeah, I mean, you snapped.
I'm just saying. All right.
You definitely snapped.
All right. That's drafted.
What's your bold prediction, Lavelle?
Bam, 20 and 10. All season. I'm telling you what.
Damn, I can't hear him either.
Lavelle said Bam's going to be 20 and 10.
I believe he's selling him short. I think 2015 maybe.
There you go.
My bold prediction is Cat Daddy would be the number 1 fantasy player this year.
No.
I can believe that.
We'll have this discussion.
All the chances in the world to do it.
He already was top 3 last year.
Well, that's all he care about. Well, you might be right because all he care about is his numbers.
Hey, I don't. That's all I care about. I ain't
Yo,
no Timberwolves fan.
Yeah, he gonna be the new modern Kevin Garnett, man. At least Kevin Garnett led him to the playoffs every year, though.
Barely.
Still, he got there.
Yeah. Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
That's just the bold prediction. Hey, if Bam gonna be 20 and 10, I can dream.
Yeah, true.
That's not a dream. That's basically
2015.
Cat should be 30-15, easy.
We shall see.
Yeah, he should be. For real, for real.
We shall see. All right, we're gonna wrap it up, man. It's a good podcast. I hope nobody gets offended by their ranking of their team, man. You know,
They will.
just use these these panelists' opinions of the squad as motivation, man. The draft better, trade better, make moves, man. Do your thing. All right, y'all.
You don't have to trade.
Oh, Jones, what'd you say? You don't have to trade.
You don't have to trade.
That's just an option. That's why I said draft better. I said draft better first.
Yeah, true.
But for those that like to trade, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Those that got the Evan Fourniers as keepers, it's going to take more than the draft, Jones.
True. I believe. I think he had something better than that. He had to have something better than that to keep before. I would have took J3 before him, man. Like a 7th round. I would have did it.
Hey, it is what it is.
Since you talking about me trading,
you won't learn today. Yo, he just playing.
No, Uncle. What'd you say?
I said if he had a great draft last year, he would have won the chip.
Yeah, Unc's not letting this go, Jones.
I'm not, man. I'm not. The draft leads to everything.
So you're right. I'm not. You won, man. You won. I wasn't healthy. That's all. If I would have been healthy, I would have won it.
So we got a first grudge match of the season.
What week they play?
It's the first week.
I don't even know. No, they play the first week.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll make a bold prediction
wait.
right now. I'm not going to trade anybody my first week. Just
so
with my draft.
So what's your prediction?
Guarantee that I'll beat him because he can't draft like me. I'm telling that straight up.
Yo, this has like a big fight feel or something. Like, you know, you had the two fighters talking trash before the fight.
Right.
And he's drafted ahead of me, and I'm still going to outdraft him.
You got a pick before me. No, you don't. No, you don't. I ain't worried about you, man. I never do, dude. You ain't gonna have me all in my feelings. I'm gonna beat you anyway, dude.
You hear that, though?
No, I didn't hear what you said.
He said, you're not gonna have him all in his feelings. He gonna beat you anyway.
Oh, he gonna be in his feelings all season, just like he was last year.
I was never in my feelings last year.
I said, okay, Drake.
I ain't the one that had a fire sale with my team.
You hear that? He said he didn't have a fire sale with his team.
Oh, I had a fire sale? Or he trying to say
Nah,
had a fire sale?
I wasn't. That was in feelings. That's what you do when you're in feelings.
Oh, I got you.
Got you.
Don't worry about it, man. I'm gonna beat you 7-4.
7-4.
7-4. That's the bold prediction. First week.
Y'all heard it right here.
7-4.
7-4.
That's gonna be the premier matchup for the first week.
That's what he said.
Yeah, 7-4.
7-4.
7-4. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here, man. It's getting late.
All right, bro.
All right, y'all. To the next one, man. It was good.
Yo, the box looked good, Freddie.
I'm gonna log on there now.
Yeah, everything, all the games looking real good.
All right.
All right.